Hey, you guys, it's Anne Marie. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying not to, make it, but it is what it is. That's interesting. Um, all the more confirmation. I was debating on doing this video. Stomach's been kind of upset today. Just been an interesting day as usual. But everything's okay. Everything's fine. But I wasn't going to do a video. Um, so this is a trigger warning. Trigger warning. So if regarding SA and poisoning and drugs and stuff like that. So I have been watching a lot of TikToks, videos about Sean Puffy Combs' indictment. And though I found a lot of the videos humorous where they're making fun of the baby oil, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil found, I was watching Jaguar Wright, which she's the whistleblower of all whistleblowers, and she called this a long time ago, and I've been saying this about P. Diddy and a lot of other artists. That's why I'm very suspect of music artists, but it's certain music artists, like the top names. But regardless, and actors and actresses, but this isn't about that. And so I got a kind of chuckle out of a lot of like videos people have been doing about the baby oil. But when I was watching Jaguar Wright, they were talking about more specifics, and I saw a few other TikToks and videos talking about other things that they mentioned that the police found when they searched his home. And one of the things they talked about, and I watched a couple of videos about, was the IV drips. And the IV drips were there because they would give the people, majority of them women, but there's male victims too. And as we know, PD groomed a lot of musicians, and which groomed other musicians and whatever. So I'm saying women for the sake because that's what I saw, but I know there were men that probably were victimized as well. So, but they used the IV drip because they would give the women this drug where they would forget within 30 minutes. Like they would wake up and they would like go back, get knocked back out or something. It would clear their memory like that, so they wouldn't even recognize, and they would be on, at these parties, if you will, these freak offs is what they call, and they wouldn't remember. And I think this also happened. I wanted to see the movie, the Epstein movie about the girl. I think it's Zoe, who plays the woman, about being on the island there. But anyway, talked about this drug too, that you will lose your memory and you'd be at this place forever and you wouldn't even realize it. So they also found that IV drip stuff. And so that's oftentimes because these women were drugged and SA'd for the whole weekend for, I think, 72 hours. They were weeks. I mean, the parties went for days, supposedly. And because they were so dehydrated and used and abused, that there was a doctor there that would give them IV drips to rehydrate them because of everything that was happening. And it was interesting because I had to kind of make myself stop watching the videos because it triggered some stuff. And I'm grateful for the trigger. So not only am I burning this white light for spirit, but I'm also burning this white light for myself and other peoples who have been drugged and taken advantage of. Now, I've talked a few times about how I've been poisoned, and that was to take my life. But there's been many occasions in my life, unfortunately, not many, well, a handful, that people gave me drugs in my drink and I totally lost my memory, blacked completely out. It's happened quite a few times, I should say. I say quite a few times because even one is too many. And so I'm sure there may be videos out. For all I know, I don't remember. And that's okay, because I was in better shape then. There's my dark humor kicking in. And so as I was triggered, I was talking to Spirit and myself about forgiving myself for putting myself in those situations. Never to say that I'm the blame. But I also believe in taking accountability and looking at myself and the choices, even though I'm in completely different spaces. I mean, I'm celibate, for Christ's sake, but that's not the reason why I am. I'm waiting for my divine counterpart, and I know how powerful sexual energy is, especially mine. And that's a whole nother video about sexual energy. But anyway, so I had to, where's my drink? Oh, it's behind me. Gosh, I made it really hard behind me here. So I started to process and think about the times that people who I cared about or I thought were my friends or a boyfriend or someone I was interested in, you know, dating, that how they took advantage of me. And so I think of all the countless women and men, young boys, young girls, that this has happened to. Now, I've already known this about P. Diddy, and let me tell you this, and many people have said this, so this is nothing new. He is the one of many. The one of many. The people who've been worshipped, and all these actors and actresses and these musicians and all that, and they're a bunch of, they have the spirit of the demons on them. They have some evil spirits attached to them. And so I focus on the victims and how heartbreaking that is. You're not alone. And more of us need to speak up about it. Again, I can share about the situations, but I don't have memory of actually what happened to me. I just know I had a drink and I fucking blacked out until the next day. And was gaslit and about what happened. And I believed it because I think it was easier to believe then. Because the other option was terrifying. And I have to say, before we finish this out, it's refreshing to see this happen. You know, they denied his $50 million bond, but, you know, they took $75 million, released him. But if someone as big as him with all of his money could get caught, and he will be indicted, things will not be easy for him. Doesn't matter how much money you have. This is what I mean, and a lot of people have given the message, means when we say the tables are turning, justice is coming. It's the year of the 8. Nobody is above the divine. And the more of us that speak up, whether it's in our families, our communities, our churches, or spiritual communities of abuse, it doesn't have to be SA, even though those type of things do happen pretty often. Even if it's the toxicity and the evil doings of the people in these communities, time is up. Many people have been foreshadowing this and sharing this for some time, not just myself, obviously. And so I always have hope because the scales always tip in our favor in the very end. You're not alone. I hope you're healthy and happy, full of joy. May you love and be loved. Heal. Don't harm. Have a good evening.